everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to talk about that Thor Love and Thunder trailer. It was hype. I loved it. Now, I knew this thing was going to be pretty fucking good because the Thor Ragnarok trailers are dope, and I knew, as soon as they use goddamn Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine, you're just like, okay, I need to see where you're going with this. But yeah, the Sweet Child of Mine makes a return. We get more of a glimpse. We get more of a glimpse into Jane Foster. We get more Jane Foster. We get more Thor. We get this fun little intro from Gore talking about how Thor went from dad bod to god bod. Which, by the way, up top, let's just talk about this. Let's just get this out of the way. Chris Hemsworth is jacked. Like, I know he's jacked, but damn, he is jacked. Like, I'm like, damn, he is jacked. Like, it's so funny. I don't know, Seth might comment in this comment section, but like, and the thing about it is, I've seen a lot of people so surprised how jacked he looks. But for me, I follow a lot of those celebrities on like Instagram and stuff like that. Particularly the ones that I like a lot of their films or whatever they're doing. So I like to follow them and just see what they're working on and, whatnot. So I can go watch that movie, Follow Chris Evans and a couple other people. It's just nice to see the process and, see whatever they're posting up. And so, it's not like I follow them closely, but I am, like every once in a while, something though, there's a pop up. And I saw when Thor Ragnarok, that's how I first saw Thor Ragnarok even began filming and finished filming, was, him recording. And it was funny because there were some images he posted up about his training. And I mean, there's particularly this one image with Chris Hemsworth just pushing this huge fucking tire, man. I mean, it's a massive tire. And he is just shredded, dude. And I remember because I remember in the comment section on that post on Instagram, you see like The Rock and all these other dudes just like, yeah. I'm like, man, like that's just like some next level shit right there. You know what I mean? Like, that's just like, you can't afford, like, to get as jacked as he is, to get that kind of level of buff, it takes not only dedication. I know some people are gonna comment in the comment section, steroids, but I don't know. I don't think he's doing steroids. I don't think because he was yoked, like, he was jacked even before. He's just stepping it up a notch, but like, I don't think he's doing steroids or anything like that. I think like if you got the money, then to pay for the food, and you have people helping you work out, and they got that weird electric shock therapy where they zap your fucking muscles and shit. Be like Kumail Nanjiani. Like, if you got the people to help you, man, you can get unbelievably godlike shredded. And like the same way that I kind of made this point to Seth also, that I thought Chris Evans got more jacked in Captain America Winter Soldier than he was in like the other Captain America movies. And like, he kept that level of jack, because there's a certain point in Winter Soldier where homie walks out like, yo, dude, like, stop, you beat the gym. I think, I can't remember who made that joke, comedian made the you beat the gym joke, but I think every time I see anyone, woman or man, who is just like shredded, I'm just like, dude, you won, stop, fuck, I know, I get it, man. But, but so I thought that was hilarious. So, like, seeing Chris, especially that little scene at the end with, also good to see, Russell Crowe as Thor, yeah, Russell Crowe. Yeah, Russell Crowe as Thor, as Zeus. As Zeus, flick off his clothes and he's butt-ass naked, which they blurred out his ass. Which I agree with, which is a funny gag. Which, by the way, all those people fainting, I'm like, is it that big? like you guys all I'm like, wait a minute. This is Olympus. You guys fuck all the time. Minor spoilers for people who don't know any mythology. All they do is fuck up there. Like, unless he is packing something they ain't never seen before, which maybe he is. But they all fainted. It was a pretty funny gag, and it made me laugh. But like, getting into the meat of the trailer, because the teaser just was set up. It was just set up. But we kind of finally got an idea of the story, at least the core of the story. So the core of the story is going to be Jane Foster. Like a lot of us predicted, it's going to be the reconnection of Jane Foster in Thor. And I feel like Natalie Portman, I feel like it's going to work a bit better. I didn't mind their chemistry in the first Thor. I didn't mind their chemistry. It wasn't the strongest. It was nowhere near strongest. Like, in terms of levels, though, like, I thought Peggy and Steve's chemistry in the first Captain America, I thought they were the best couple, and then followed up, like, I thought they were, like, A+, and I thought Pepper and Tony were, like, A, and admittedly, Natalie and Thor were like a fucking like a C+. They were. It wasn't terrible. I've seen much worse chemistry between characters. Just check out Aquaman to see Mira and him. But it wasn't great. Like, there was nothing like to really make it like stand out and unique. You know what I mean? Because like it really, there was no real definitive relationship moment that really make it, you know, stick. Whereas with Peggy and Steve and Tony and Pepper, there were all these moments to really make it feel like a real relationship that was growing. And I have a feeling that Taika is going to make up for lost time. Like, I feel like, because, like, so many people right now are probably going to go into this movie, and they're not going to be looking forward to that aspect of the movie because they didn't like it before. But I just hope, if you didn't like Jane Foster in the other movies, and you didn't like their, relationship, you know, their romance, I feel like you need to go into this film with a fresh, with a fresh view, you know, with fresh pair of eyes. Just give it a fresh start, because I believe that in this movie, Jane's gonna be a lot different than she was in those other movies. She's gonna act a bit like, she's not gonna be totally different, but she's gonna be more fun. She's gonna be more joyful, and there's gonna be, and the chemistry between them, I feel like, is gonna be much better, because the chemistry wasn't bad. It was just like they needed to give it more, in my opinion. I didn't think it was like, because some people go, they had no chemistry at all. I'm like, no, they had chemistry. It was something missing, and it needed a little bit more, something more. And I think Taika figured out what to give it, and, you know, and I think this angle of them being equals, which will probably, like, which will probably end up being the story. I feel like they're gonna work in her, like, the real life, because in real life, some people don't know this, Natalie Portman did pretty much quit. Like, I mean, she wasn't contracted to be in any more Thor movies, I don't believe, but they were gonna continue with her, but she pretty much quit because she got tired of how it was written, her being a damsel. But okay, Natalie quit for like two things. One, she got tired of just being the damsel in distress character. She wanted her character to have more agency and to have more to do. And two, she quit because the original script was kind of torn up because of Ike Perlmutter. Remember that asshole? Because Ike Perlmutter at the time didn't think a female villain could sell, because the original script for Thor to Dark World was going to be Hela, and like Jane was going to have more to do. Like, Jane was going to be an integral part, like more than just, oh, she's got the ether in her. There's going to be more. And what's her face? Wonder Woman director. The director of Wonder Woman was supposed to direct it. Patty Jenkins was going to direct it. It was going to have it was gonna have he was gonna put emphasis on a lot. Baldur was gonna be in it. So, like, a lot of things changed because of Ike Perlmutter's meddling. But in the end, it led to Natalie Portman not wanting to be a part of this stuff anymore. So, like, you have to imagine whatever Taika did to convince, like, whatever they offered her, told her to convince her to come back, had to be really good. And I'm curious of how they're gonna play up the Mighty Thor angle. Now, a lot of people, comic book people, weren't big fans of the Mighty Thor, but it's so hard to tell because comic book people are so fucking weird. Because comic book people, like, because there's a large portion, and like, I think that, like, and I know some people will argue with me that it's not the big majority, but I do think there's a lot, like, a huge gatekeeping, especially in part of the comic book community, particularly in the Marvel comic book community, because, like, because for all the people who legitimately don't like the Jane Foster run as Thor, like, it's hard to tell who doesn't actually like it and who are just sexist assholes who don't like the idea of a female character being in a position of a male character. Like, it's just really hard to tell the difference, you know what I mean? Because like, it's a large portion, man. It's a large portion. But from anyone I know who were subjective, who aren't those people, most of those people say they love that run. They thought it was a really fun run with Jane Foster being Thor, and the whole cancer angle with every time she uses the hammer, her chemotherapy goes away. So when she's not using the hammer, it's almost like she's starting from scratch again. Like, and you know, like, so she's sacrificing to be a hero. It was a different angle, it was a different twist, and it was an interesting angle and twist. And now we hear that, at least there's never been anything concrete, but we hear that they're gonna play that up in the movie. Now, nothing in the movie indicates that, like, at least in this trailer, indicates that they're gonna play that angle up, but perhaps it's something that's gonna come up later. You know, perhaps it's something because the question, because because the trailer is I mean, I feel like I barely talked about the trailer, but the trailer was dope. It was cool seeing Natalie Portman as Mighty Thor fighting with the hammer. I love the romance angle they're playing up. I love seeing Thor working out using the Guardian ship as using the Guardian ship. That was cool. Also, up top, Gore looks great. I think Gore looks great. Now, it isn't Gore from the comics, because Gore from the comics looks like a combination of a Twi'lek, or is it Twi'lek? You know, the fucking, the long fucking people from Star Wars. You know what I'm talking about. He kind of looks like one of those, like a white one of those. Like he's very alien looking. He's very alien looking. And they made him look very Christian Bale. Now, the vibe I'm going for, because even in the comics, he didn't look that alien. He just kind of was they look alien, but they look primitive people. And the vibe I'm getting is that they're going to do the same thing. Now, there is a 50-50 chance, too, by the way, for all the people who's bitching and complaining about Gore's look, which I think it looks good. I think it looks kind of scary and menacing, and I'm just curious about the power he's wields. It looks like at a certain point he destroys a moon with the strike. So I'm curious of the kind of power he's going to be wielding. But more so, I do think for the comic book people who are upset, there's a 50-50 chance that he becomes, over the course of the movie, more and more like that Gore that from the comics. That whatever it is that is inside of him, because it's not the Necro Sword, because they gave the Necro Swords to Hela, because clearly they probably weren't planning on doing Gore. Like they gave the Necro Swords to Hela because they probably never planned on doing Gore, because a lot of Hela's power sets were based off of Gore's. So they never planned on doing Gore. But once Taika wanted to do it, once Taika was back on board, they're like, okay, we're going to do Gore. And it's like, oh, well, we can't do that. And I don't know if they can, are they allowed to do the Venom thing? Are they allowed to do Null? Like, are they? I mean, because technically that's a Spider-Man thing, I suppose. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I mean, are they allowed to hint to it? I mean, it'd be dope. It'd be dope as fuck. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? At the end of that movie, fucking, you just see white-haired Null with the red fucking, spider symbiote thing, symbol, and the long white hair and that nasty grin, just I'm like, yo, that would be dope. I don't think they're gonna do it, because I don't know if they can legally do it, but it would be so dope. But I digress. So much fun. Cool seeing Valkyrie back. Cool seeing Korg. And like I said, in the movie, the core of this movie is clearly gonna be, it's why it's called Love and Thunder. It's literally Love and Thunder. It's the thunder gods, Thor and Jane Thor, and their love for each other. And, I mean, that could be a really cool... I really hope no one dies, though I have a feeling Thor... I don't think Thor is gonna die. Because, first of all, Chris Hemsworth doesn't have any other big franchise other than this. Unlike Evan... Chris is doing shit. He's doing shit. He's got Extraction. Somehow he's got Extraction, too. I'm still baffled by that movie. Doesn't make a lick of sense, but I digress. Hemsworth doesn't have a ton of things going on. He doesn't have a show or a movie. Mark Ruffalo's got a shit ton of things going on. Downey's doing all the all of his coworkers, all his co-stars got shit ton of things going on. Hemsworth, Thor is the thing for him. It's the biggest thing he's got going. And he's a producer on this one too. So there's only that's a first. That doesn't happen often. It's only happened one time. And that was with Scarlett Johansson, who, by the way, small news, something that no one really talks about. Scarlett Johansson's a producer in the MCU now. She's producing some other project that we don't know about. So she's still producing shit in Marvel. So we don't know what, but she's producing something. And so Chris Hemsworth's producing this. You just get the feeling he finally started to have fun with the character again, because notoriously after Thor: The Dark World, he said he was bored with himself. He said he was bored with the character. He was bored with himself playing the character. And it took Taika to rejuvenate him and want him to do this character more. And he's like, oh, finally I can let loose, because it was just getting kind of boring for him. It was... depending on who you talk to, it was getting boring for other people. I know for a fact that, even though some people try to argue and rewrite history, that Thor was the least liked member of the Avengers movie. He was the least looked up character in the movie. I mean, Black Widow people were asking for a Black Widow movie more than they were asking for a Thor sequel. So, you know, they had to make a change. And that change not only helped rejuvenate the star of the movie, rejuvenated the whole franchise. And so I don't think he's gonna die. I don't think he's gonna die. There's a chance Jane dies, though. There's a chance. It depends on how they play that cancer angle up. Because I brought it up before. There's this beautiful, like, kind of end to that arc with the Jane Foster character, where at a certain point she gives up the hammer. She gives up, like, it all, and she dies from her, you know. And she dies in Thor's arms as they kiss one last time. Like it was a beautiful panel. It's a beautiful image. And I could definitely see them invoking that. Like maybe because like the vibe he got from the first trailer is like he was trying to find a reason to be a hero again. Like he couldn't really find a reason to be a hero again. And maybe her death is what pushes him to continue doing this. Like it's hard to really see which angle this is going to go. Also, we have to see how they're going to change up the Gore the God Butcher story. Or how closely are they going to stick to the whole God's let his family die bit? Or is it going to be something connected to the blip? We don't really know. All I know is this trailer looked dope. It looked fun. I can't wait to see more of it. I can't wait to... Like, oh man, I am just so excited for this. I can't wait to see Christian Bale. Christian Bale, another actor who said that he would never come back to do a superhero movie again, and who's someone who can pick any movie he wants, and chose to come back to play this character, which means there's something in this movie he really latched onto and said, I can do that. You know what I mean? And I'm excited to see. He's probably going to die in the end because he's Christian Bale and he does not want to be tied down to a franchise again. So, a lot of people are going to be pissed off about that. But, you know, you guys just have to understand that these big-time actors, most of the big-time actors don't want to get tied down in contracts. So, they're not going to fuck it. They're going to be like, hey, you can have me, but I'm going to die. Like Ethan Hawke, like some people, it's like, yeah, I'll come and do this, but, like, I'm not going to be tied down to a contract or anything like that. No. I'll come in, I'll do it, and then I'll die. You know what I mean? And call it a day. But anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please like, subscribe, and what did you think about the Thor Love and Thunder trailer? I loved it. I thought it was awesome. Comment below and let me know your thought. Thank you again. I'll see you on the next one.